before that discovery, is there any way that you can see that it's connected in, you're an actress, you're a TEDx speaker. How has that now raveled into or unraveled to you that, oh, that's why I've been successful at certain things like acting in the corporate world, in leadership, and now entrepreneurship?
So I am really, really good at masking.
Mm,
I'm really good at performing.
mm,
At the age of around 8, I started performing. I started pretending. I learned that if I wanted to feel safe, then I needed to be what other people needed me to be. So, learning really early, how do I behave so people don't get mad at me? How do I
mm,
behave so that people feel like I'm, normal?
mm,
That was a through line in how I interacted in the world.
mhm,
So really, really young, I started figuring out how to pretend.
mm,
And then I discovered theater, and this was a space where I really kind of honed that craft. And so I think I was really successful, or more successful than a lot of other folks at masking, because I had the theater training to kind of help me to do that. And I had a driver, like the internal driver was the safety, right? Feeling like I needed to get this right if I wanted to be safe. And so that fire made me much more intentional about getting that right. So then jump forward into my adult life. At this point, I've been masking for years. We moved around a lot when I was a kid. And so I had to learn how to step into new spaces and build a persona and create safety and create relationships really quickly. And so I'm great at jumping into new things and creating what this particular situation needs. And then you look at me climbing the corporate ladder.
mhm,
Well, I was, I think, better able to figure out, how do I behave in each one of these situations? How do I behave in this environment? How do I deal with this manager? All
mm.
of those things, because I had been masking and I had been learning how to understand people and figure out what they needed from a very early age. So I think it was really helpful for me playing through, right, in every step of the way. And the theater supported it, but then maybe I also had a little bit more of a natural inclination towards it. So it was cyclical, right? And, and then now, here we are, right? So I've done a lot of leadership training. I've trained people on how to navigate spaces, but that training comes from all of my years of having to figure that out myself. And so boiling things down to rules and tips and tricks and like what's the quick, like efficient way to get to the best possible outcome, all of those things mean that I have a different perspective on how I interact in the world, and I can help other people to kind of shift their perspective and navigate in similar ways.
Naima, I love what you're saying. And it's also because that's something I've been talking about and even pondering on, that no journey is ever wasted. Like I'm listening to you saying that you, as a child, you moved many places. You had to adapt and, get familiar, look at the situation, the new environment, and adapt accordingly. And that's my story too. And I didn't like it. If you just enjoyed that video, check out the longer version right here.